The journey begins. Ella Morgan stepped out of the bustling community center as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. It had been a long day of organizing events and helping those in need, but Ella felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Each smile she received from the families she had assisted was a testament to her efforts, and she cherished those moments. However, as she approached her modest sit and parked outside, her thoughts drifted to her grandmother, a woman of strength and dignity. Ella remembered her grandmother's dream, one that had always seemed out of reach. "One day, Ella, I want you to have a luxury car," she would say, her eyes sparkling with hope. "You deserve to drive something beautiful, something that reflects who you are." Ella sighed softly, her heart a mix of nostalgia and longing. The image of her grandmother's worn hands and wise, compassionate smile filled her mind. Those hands had worked tirelessly to support Ella after the loss of her parents, teaching her the value of hard work, kindness, and perseverance. But dreams like owning a luxury car seemed so distant, overshadowed by the realities of life. Yet, on this particular evening, something felt different. Inspired by her grandmother's unwavering faith in her, Ella decided it was time to take a step toward that dream. She had been saving diligently, and although she wasn't rich, she was determined to explore the possibility of owning a vehicle that would honor her grandmother's memory. Taking a deep breath, she got into her car, the familiar scent of well-loved fabric calming her nerves. Ella navigated through the streets of the city, her heart racing with excitement and apprehension. After a short drive, she found herself outside Silverton Luxury Motors, a sprawling dealership that seemed to gleam with opulence. The modern architecture of the building stood in stark contrast to the humble environment she was used to, and for a moment, she hesitated. "What if they laugh at me?" she wondered, recalling her grandmother's words of encouragement, but grappling with the weight of doubt. But she shook her head, reminding herself that she belonged here as much as anyone else. "I can do this," she whispered to herself, pushing open the car door and stepping into the luxurious world of high-end vehicles. The glass doors of the dealership glided open, welcoming her into a showroom filled with shiny cars and polished floors. The air was rich with the scent of new leather and fresh paint. Ella's heart soared. She felt like a child in a candy store, marveling at the sleek designs and vibrant colors of the luxury vehicles surrounding her. A young salesman approached, his initial friendliness dimming as he assessed her simple attire, a cozy sweater, well-worn jeans, and scuffed sneakers. His smile was bright but quickly faltered, his gaze subtly dismissive. "Can I help you, ma'am?" he asked, his tone slightly condescending. Ella stood tall, her grandmother's spirit fortifying her. "Yes, I'm interested in looking at your latest models," she replied, her voice steady despite the twinge of anxiety. The salesman's expression shifted, a flicker of disbelief crossing his features. He hesitated but then nodded, leading her to the sleekest silver car in the showroom. As Ella ran her fingers over the smooth metal, she envisioned the joy her grandmother would have felt if she were there beside her. "Look at this beauty, Grandma," she imagined saying, a smile lighting her face as she remembered her grandmother's infectious laughter. "Now this is our top-of-the-line model," the salesman said, a hint of skepticism seeping into his voice. "It's not just a car, it's an experience." He continued to explain the vehicle's features, but Ella sensed his condescension beneath his polished words. Just then, Henry, the dealership's senior salesman, swaggered over. He exuded confidence, wearing a designer suit that seemed tailor-made for someone of his perceived status. Henry's eyes narrowed as they fell on Ella, and he leaned against the polished counter, clearly preparing to dismiss her as another time-waster. "Can I help you?" he asked, his tone laced with disdain, surveying her from head to toe. Ella felt the sting of his scrutiny but stood her ground. "I'm interested in this model," she replied, gesturing to the silver car. Henry raised an eyebrow, a smirk playing on his lips. "Well, I see," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "But this vehicle comes with a price tag to match its quality." Are you sure you're looking in the right place? Ella felt her heart race, not from fear, but from a surge of determination. She refused to let his arrogance intimidate her. I appreciate your concern, but I'm quite interested in this model, she stated firmly, meeting his gaze with unwavering resolve. With a barely concealed sneer, Henry launched into a condescending lecture about the car's luxurious features, as if she wouldn't understand the complexity of its engineering or the prestige that came with driving it. He went on about the state-of-the-art technology, the handcrafted leather interior, and the roaring V8 engine, all while projecting an air of superiority that belittled her presence. Ella listened intently, absorbing every word. While she recognized his attempt to belittle her, she felt a fire igniting within her. What makes it worth that price? She asked calmly, surprising him with her continued engagement. Henry's eyebrows shot up in surprise, his confidence slightly shaken. Well, he began, caught off guard. For starters, it's got a powerful V8 engine, which is something most people in your situation can only dream of. Ella felt the sting of his words, but she kept her composure, determined to rise above his assumptions. That sounds impressive, she replied, her voice steady. Would it be possible to see the car up close? I'd love to experience those features firsthand. Henry hesitated, his frustration growing. He couldn't comprehend why this woman was still lingering, ignoring the clear signals he was sending. With an exaggerated sigh, he reluctantly led her toward the car, his attitude dripping with sarcasm. Just so you know, he said, casting a sidelong glance at her, even touching this beauty might be more excitement than you're used to. Ella held her head high, channeling her grandmother's grace. She knew she didn't deserve this treatment, but she was committed to handling it with dignity. As they approached the car, Henry continued to belittle her, mocking her aspirations and insinuating that she should be grateful for any opportunity to even be near such a luxury vehicle. But Ella remained undeterred. Each insult felt like a challenge, fueling her resolve. She could feel her grandmother's spirit guiding her, reminding her of her worth. I appreciate your concern, she replied softly, her calm demeanor contrasting with the venom in Henry's words. As Henry prepared to deliver more condescension, Ella decided it was time to take control of the narrative. She wouldn't allow him to dictate how she felt or how she should aspire. With a gentle smile that belied her simmering determination, she said, "Thank you for your time, sir, but I'm quite interested in this model, and I'd like to explore my options." The atmosphere in the showroom shifted as Ella's dignity began to resonate with those around her. Several employees, previously entertained by Henry's antics, began to exchange glances, their expressions a mix of disapproval and admiration for Ella's composure. "Let's discuss financing options," Henry said with a feigned cheerfulness that masked his irritation. "I assume you'll be needing our most flexible payment plan." Ella shook her head gently. "That won't be necessary, but thank you for the offer," she replied, her voice unwavering. Henry's disbelief was palpable as he studied her. "Are you serious? A car like this?" "I'm serious," Ella interrupted, meeting his gaze with confidence. She could feel the shift in the atmosphere, the tides turning in her favor as she maintained her dignity. As they stood beside the gleaming luxury sedan, Ella felt a surge of strength. She knew that her worth wasn't dictated by her attire or the assumptions others made about her financial status. The lessons her grandmother had instilled in her of grace, resilience, and the power of belief were her armor in this moment. She would not let Henry's arrogance define her journey. With renewed determination, Ella took a step closer to the car, her heart racing with possibility. "I've come here to make a choice," she declared, her voice steady and strong. "And I will not let anyone, least of all you, take that away from me." Little did she know, this encounter would set into motion a series of events that would not only challenge Henry's perceptions, but also reshape her own understanding of self-worth, resilience, and the true meaning of success. This first part sets the stage for Ella's journey, showcasing her strength and the initial conflict with Henry. If you would like me to continue with part 2 or make any adjustments, just let me know. Unraveling the layers. As Ella stood beside the sleek silver sedan, her heart raced with a mixture of anticipation and resolve. The world around her seemed to fade as she focused on what lay ahead. Henry's disdainful gaze bore into her, but she was determined not to allow his arrogance to cloud her aspirations. She took a moment to appreciate the car's curves, reflecting not just luxury, but also her dreams, her grandmother's dreams, now seemingly within reach. Henry adjusted his designer tie, irritation flaring in his eyes as he watched Ella's unwavering stance. "Look, Ella, I can see that you're excited," he began, his voice dripping with condescension. "But I think it's time we discuss what this really means. This car isn't just about looks, it's a financial commitment. You'd be wise to consider that." Ella's gaze remained steady, her heart steadying in its rhythm. "I appreciate your concern, but I'm fully aware of what it entails," she replied, her voice calm but assertive. "I've done my research, and I'm prepared to discuss financing options." The atmosphere shifted subtly as Henry bristled at her response, his facade of superiority cracking ever so slightly. He was not used to being challenged, especially not by someone he deemed out of place. "Well then, let's talk numbers," he said, feigning enthusiasm. "I'm sure we can find something that fits your budget." Ella took a deep breath, reminding herself that this wasn't just about the car. It was about defying the stereotypes that Henry represented, breaking free from the limitations imposed by others. "I'm interested in the specifics of this model," she said, gesturing to the silver car, her voice steady. "What are its features, and what options do you have for financing?" Henry paused, momentarily taken aback by her directness. It was clear that Ella was not going to bow to his condescension. Instead, she was willing to engage on equal terms. "All right then," he said, reluctantly shifting gears. "This model comes equipped with advanced safety features, a premium sound system, and cutting-edge navigation technology. But as I mentioned, the price." "6 figures," Ella interjected, a hint of challenge in her tone. "I'm aware of that. What I want to know is what justifies that price. What makes this car worth every penny?" For the first time, Henry hesitated. He had prepared to belittle her aspirations, to dismiss her as just another dreamer, but now he found himself on the defensive. "Well, it's all about the brand reputation," he began, the practiced lines coming easier to him. "This vehicle is known for its reliability and luxury. You're paying for the status it brings." Ella felt a twinge of frustration at his response. It wasn't just about the status. It was about the experience, the joy of driving something that inspired confidence and freedom. "I'm not just looking for status, Henry," she said, her voice rising slightly. "I want to know about the quality, the craftsmanship. I want to feel that this car is an extension of who I am." Henry smirked again, masking his discomfort with a veneer of arrogance. "Well, it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into this, but let's be real. A car like this is not something people in your demographic usually consider. Perhaps you should explore options that better suit your financial reality." Ella felt a rush of indignation at his words. How could he be so dismissive? She thought of her grandmother again, of the sacrifices she had made, and the dreams they had shared. "I don't think you understand," she said firmly. "My worth isn't determined by my appearance or background. I've worked hard for every penny I've saved. I deserve to at least explore my options." The tension in the showroom thickened, and a few employees glanced over, sensing the rising conflict. Ella's words had sparked something in the air, shifting the power dynamics in the room. Henry, who had prided himself on his ability to intimidate potential buyers, suddenly found himself under scrutiny. "Why don't we take a look at the features up close?" Ella suggested, her voice calm but resolute. She moved toward the car, her heart racing with purpose. "I'd like to sit inside and feel what it's like." Henry hesitated, torn between his urge to dismiss her and a growing curiosity about how far she would push back. "Fine," he said, irritation creeping back into his tone. "Just remember, It's not just a vehicle. It's a statement. Not everyone can handle that. As Ella climbed into the driver's seat, she felt a rush of excitement. The interior was luxurious, the leather supple and inviting. She inhaled deeply, soaking in the scent of new beginnings. "This feels amazing," she murmured, her fingers dancing over the steering wheel. Henry, standing outside the car, couldn't hide his surprise. Ella's presence in the luxury vehicle challenged everything he believed about who should belong in that world. "Sure, it's nice to sit in, but can you really see yourself behind the wheel?" he asked, his tone tinged with skepticism. "I can," Ella replied confidently, glancing at him through the tinted windows. "I can envision myself driving this car, taking my grandmother for a ride, sharing the joy of a dream realized. That's what this is about for me." For a brief moment, the condescending mask slipped from Henry's face, revealing a flicker of doubt. Perhaps he had underestimated her. Ella was not just another customer. She was a force of nature, fueled by the memory of her grandmother's dreams and her own tenacity. "Okay, let's get back to business," he said, forcing a smile. "If you're serious about this model, I'll need to run some numbers. But I'm warning you, the monthly payments are substantial." "Let's see them," Ella replied, her voice steady. "I'm ready to discuss financing." As Henry stepped away to retrieve the paperwork, Ella took a moment to breathe, allowing the warmth of the car to envelop her. She felt a sense of empowerment she had never experienced before. This wasn't just about the car. It was about challenging perceptions, breaking barriers, and proving to herself, and to Henry, that she belonged in this space. In the interim, she noticed a few of the salespeople watching her, their expressions shifting from bemusement to admiration. Sarah, the young woman who had looked uncomfortable with Henry's earlier jokes, approached Ella's side of the car, a hint of a smile on her face. "Hi there," Sarah said softly, glancing at Henry, who was preoccupied with his paperwork. "I just wanted to say that I think it's really great you're here, exploring your options. It's inspiring to see someone so determined." Ella felt a rush of gratitude at Sarah's words. "Thank you," she replied warmly. "It's important to me to follow my dreams, no matter how big they seem." "Henry can be a bit abrasive," Sarah continued, lowering her voice as she cast a wary glance in his direction. "But if you need any information or support, I'd be happy to help. You deserve to be treated with respect." Ella smiled, feeling a connection in that moment. "I appreciate that. It's refreshing to meet someone who sees beyond the surface." Just then, Henry returned, his demeanor back in full salesman mode, brandishing a clipboard with exaggerated enthusiasm. "All right, let's take a look at the numbers," he said, flashing a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "I'm sure you'll find the financing options quite reasonable for someone in your position." Ella's heart sank slightly, but she refused to let his words deter her. "I'm ready," she said firmly, determined to confront the numbers head-on. As Henry began detailing the payment plans, Ella's mind raced. She listened carefully, her determination unwavering, determined to break through the condescension and dismissiveness that Henry exuded. Every time he assumed her limits, she pushed back, reminding him of her worth. "While these numbers are steep," Henry continued, "I'm sure we can find a way to make it work. After all, it's important for you to have realistic expectations." Ella interrupted him, her voice steady. "I've calculated my budget and savings. I know what I can afford, and I believe it's worth it to invest in something I truly value." Henry's jaw tightened, but he forced a smile. "Of course, but you have to consider the long-term implications. Ownership is not just about the purchase price. It's about maintenance, insurance, and so on." "I understand that, Henry," Ella replied, meeting his gaze directly. "I'm not naive. I've been saving for this moment for a long time. It's about more than just owning a car. It's about fulfilling a promise to myself and my grandmother." With each passing moment, Ella could feel the atmosphere in the showroom shifting further. She could sense the growing support of her peers, the realization that she was not just a buyer, but a beacon of resilience. Henry continued his spiel, but the words started to lose their sting. Ella was no longer just a woman in a luxury car. She was a testament to the power of dreams, a force pushing against the confines of society's expectations. The determination in her heart, fueled by her grandmother's legacy, radiated from her like a light. As the conversation continued, Ella felt a shift not just within herself, but in the way Henry interacted with her. His tone softened slightly, and he began to recognize that perhaps she was not the caricature he had built in his mind. There was a respect slowly emerging, layered with curiosity about her story. "Tell me more about what drives you," he finally asked, his voice more genuine than before. "Why is this so important to you?" Ella paused, her heart swelling with emotion as she contemplated how to convey her journey. "My grandmother taught me the value of perseverance and dreaming big. After losing my parents, she worked tirelessly to provide for me, always encouraging me to chase my dreams, no matter how out of reach they seemed. She believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." Henry's expression shifted. He was listening now, truly listening. "I get that. My grandmother was my rock too," he admitted, a flicker of vulnerability shining through his carefully crafted demeanor. "It's hard to let go of the past and the expectations it places on you." Ella nodded, her resolve solidifying. "But we can redefine those expectations. We have the power to carve our own paths. I want to make my grandmother proud, to honor her dreams and my own." Henry's gaze softened, and for the first time, he seemed to see her as more than just a potential sale. "You have a strong story," he said, his voice sincere. "It's refreshing to see someone with such passion." "Thank you," Ella replied, her heart swelling. "And it's important to remind ourselves that our dreams are valid, no matter where we come from." In that moment, Ella realized that this journey wasn't just about the car. It was about the connections she forged, the battles she fought, and the barriers she shattered. As Henry pulled together the final figures, he glanced at her with newfound respect. "I think we can make this work, Ella. Let's put together a proposal that reflects your commitment to this vehicle." Ella felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. "Thank you, Henry. I appreciate you taking the time to really engage with me today." As they wrapped up their discussions, Ella stepped out of the car, feeling a sense of accomplishment. She had faced not just the challenge of purchasing a luxury vehicle, but also the assumptions that came with it. The world outside the dealership was still bustling with life, but Ella felt a newfound strength coursing through her veins. She was no longer just a girl from a modest background. She was a woman pursuing her dreams, unafraid to challenge the expectations placed upon her. As she drove home that evening, the sun setting in a brilliant display of colors, Ella knew this was only the beginning. She would continue to fight for her dreams, not just for herself, but for her grandmother's legacy. With each mile she covered, she felt the weight of the world lifting, replaced by the promise of what lay ahead. This part expands on Ella's character development, the dynamics with Henry, and the emerging themes of empowerment and resilience. If you'd like to continue with the next part, or make any adjustments, just let me know. Navigating new roads. With the sun dipping below the horizon, Ella drove home, her heart racing with a blend of exhilaration and anxiety. The sleek sedan glided effortlessly along the road, a reflection of the dreams she had nurtured for so long. Each turn of the wheel felt like a step toward her future, a tangible symbol of her independence and determination. As she approached the familiar streets of her childhood, memories flooded her mind. The crumbling sidewalks where she had learned to ride her first bike, the neighborhood park where she had spent countless summer days laughing with friends. These were the roots that had shaped her. Yet, today felt different. Today marked a transition from those memories to the promise of what lay ahead. Ella's grandmother, a fierce spirit with a heart of gold, had always told her, "Dreams are the wings that carry us, but it's our choices that determine how high we can soar." Those words echoed in Ella's mind, propelling her forward as she navigated the winding roads. The weight of her grandmother's faith fueled her ambition, and for the first time, she felt the possibility of true transformation. When she arrived home, the familiar creaking of the front door greeted her, a reminder of the countless evenings spent in this cozy space. The scent of her grandmother's cooking still lingered in the air, a comforting presence. Ella paused, taking a moment to appreciate the home that had sheltered her dreams. She longed to share her success, to express gratitude for the foundation her grandmother had built. Stepping into the small kitchen, Ella found her grandmother bustling about, humming softly to herself. "There you are, dear. I was beginning to think you'd gotten lost in that fancy car of yours." Her grandmother's eyes sparkled with mischief, a smile lighting up her face. "I'm right here, Grandma," Ella replied, her voice bubbling with excitement. "You won't believe the day I had." Her grandmother's brow arched with curiosity as she wiped her hands on a dish towel. "Well, spill it. I want to hear everything." Ella took a deep breath, savoring the moment before launching into her tale. She recounted her visit to the dealership, the confrontational yet enlightening discussion with Henry, and her decision to explore the car that had captured her heart. Her words flowed with passion, punctuated by her grandmother's delighted gasps and interjections. As she shared her story, Ella could see the pride swelling in her grandmother's eyes, a reflection of the bond they shared. "I always knew you were destined for greatness, my dear," her grandmother said, her voice thick with emotion. "You've fought for this moment, and I couldn't be prouder." Tears glistened in Ella's eyes as she embraced her grandmother tightly. "This is just the beginning, Grandma. I want to make you proud and honor everything you've done for me. I want to show the world that dreams can become reality." Later that evening, as they settled down on the worn couch with cups of steaming tea, the warmth of their connection enveloped them. Ella glanced at the family photo on the mantel, a snapshot of happier times. Her parents had been a constant source of inspiration, and she longed to make them proud, too. "Tell me more about what's next," her grandmother prompted, sipping her tea thoughtfully. Ella leaned forward, excitement coursing through her veins. "I want to drive that car to new places, to meet new people. I want to break down the barriers that society places on us. It's not just about the car. It's about the journey, the freedom to explore what lies ahead." Her grandmother nodded knowingly, her eyes shining with pride. "You have such a beautiful spirit, my dear. Just remember, it's not only about the destination, but also the journey you take to get there. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and challenge you to be better." "I will, Grandma," Ella promised, feeling the weight of her grandmother's wisdom. "I'm going to surround myself with positivity and people who believe in me." As they talked late into the night, Ella felt a renewed sense of purpose. With each story shared and each lesson learned, the bond between them grew stronger. They were two women navigating a world filled with challenges and dreams, determined to forge their paths together. The next day dawned bright and clear, the sky a brilliant blue canvas that promised adventure. Ella could hardly contain her excitement as she prepared to visit the dealership again, this time with a more defined purpose. She wanted to explore financing options seriously and understand the responsibilities that came with car ownership. As she approached the dealership, her heart raced, a mix of eagerness and nervous anticipation. Henry was there, leaning casually against the desk, his expression shifting to one of surprise when he saw her. "Back so soon?" he asked, attempting a nonchalant tone that didn't quite match the curiosity in his eyes. "Yes, I wanted to discuss the car in more detail, and maybe take a test drive," she replied, her confidence firming as she spoke. Henry motioned for her to follow him to the car, and as they walked, the atmosphere felt charged with a sense of possibility. "You seemed pretty serious about the car the other day," he remarked, his tone softer than before. "What's changed?" Ella paused, meeting his gaze. "I realized it's not just about buying a car. It's about owning my journey. I want to step outside the expectations that have been placed on me and embrace what I truly desire." Henry nodded, a flicker of respect crossing his features. That's a powerful mindset. It's refreshing to see someone so determined. Let's get you behind the wheel and see how it feels. As they approached the car, Ella felt a surge of excitement. She slid into the driver's seat, the familiar sensation washing over her like a warm embrace. With Henry in the passenger seat, she started the engine, the purr of the vehicle igniting her spirit. "Let's take it for a spin," she said, her voice steady with purpose. Henry nodded, and they pulled out of the dealership, the world unfolding before them. Ella navigated the streets with newfound confidence, feeling the thrill of freedom as they sped along the road. The wind tousled her hair, and laughter bubbled from her lips as they sped down the open highway. "This is incredible," Ella exclaimed, her heart racing in sync with the car. "I can't believe I'm actually doing this." Henry chuckled, a genuine smile breaking through his usual composure. "You've got a natural feel for it. It suits you." Ella glanced at him, surprised to see a flicker of camaraderie emerging. "Thanks, Henry. I appreciate that. I've always had a love for cars, but I never thought I'd be in a position to own one like this." They continued their drive, the conversation flowing effortlessly. Ella found herself sharing more about her dreams, her grandmother, and the values instilled in her. Henry listened intently, and for the first time, she felt a sense of connection beyond the transactional nature of their relationship. As they returned to the dealership, Ella felt invigorated. The experience had solidified her resolve, transforming a simple test drive into a moment of self-discovery. She was no longer the girl from the neighborhood. She was a woman reclaiming her narrative. Once back, Henry pulled out the paperwork, a more genuine tone in his voice. "I think we can make this happen for you, Ella. Let's talk about financing options that work for your budget. I want to help you get into this car." Ella felt a rush of gratitude at his newfound support. "Thank you, Henry. I really appreciate it. I know it's a big commitment, but I'm ready to take that step." As they worked through the details, Ella couldn't help but feel that this was more than just a business transaction. It was a mutual recognition, a respect forged from the shared journey of challenging expectations and embracing dreams. In the days that followed, Ella found herself immersed in the process of car ownership. She attended workshops about maintenance, budgeting for insurance, and understanding the responsibilities that came with her purchase. Each new lesson was a stepping stone toward independence, and she relished the sense of empowerment that accompanied it. One evening, after a long day of classes and workshops, Ella returned home to find her grandmother sitting at the kitchen table, poring over old family albums. "Look at this one, Ella," her grandmother exclaimed, holding up a faded photograph of her parents at a car rally, their faces lit up with joy. Ella's heart swelled as she studied the picture, memories flooding back. They loved cars, didn't they? She mused, a smile playing on her lips. "They did," her grandmother replied, a wistful smile crossing her face. "They believed in the freedom that came with them, the adventures, the road trips, the memories. That's why I'm so proud of you for pursuing your dreams." Tears glimmered in Ella's eyes as she embraced her grandmother. "Thank you for believing in me, Grandma. I want to honor their legacy and live fully in their spirit." In that moment, Ella realized that the car wasn't just a vehicle, it was a vessel for memories, a symbol of love and connection that spanned generations. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought her to this point. Days turned into weeks, and Ella's confidence grew alongside her burgeoning independence. With each drive, she felt more connected to her dreams and the legacy she was building. She began to explore her city, visiting art galleries, attending events, and meeting people who inspired her. The car became her sanctuary, a place where she could reflect on her ambitions and the life she wanted to create. One day, while attending a local art exhibit, she met a group of aspiring artists who shared her passion for creativity and empowerment. They quickly bonded over their dreams, forming a community that celebrated individuality and self-expression. Ella felt a renewed sense of belonging. a connection that transcended her past struggles. As the weeks passed, her friendship with Henry also deepened. They began to meet beyond the dealership, sharing coffee and stories of their respective journeys. Ella admired his dedication to his career, while he respected her determination to chase her dreams. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, creating a foundation of trust and understanding that transcended their initial business relationship. "Have you ever thought about pursuing a career in automotive design?" Henry asked one afternoon, their discussion drifting toward dreams and aspirations. Ella's eyes lit up at the suggestion. "I've always loved cars and how they can express personality and creativity. I never considered it as a career, but it's definitely something I'm passionate about. Why not explore it?" He encouraged, his tone earnest. "There are programs and schools that focus on that. You have a unique perspective that could bring something new to the industry." Ella pondered his words, feeling a surge of excitement. "You're right. I've never considered it as a real possibility, but why not? It could be a way to honor my love for cars and my family's legacy." The realization sparked a newfound sense of purpose within her. With Henry's encouragement, Ella began researching schools and programs, each discovery fueling her ambition further. Weeks later, after submitting applications, she received the exhilarating news. She was accepted into a prestigious automotive design program. The moment was overwhelming, a culmination of her dreams, fueled by her grandmother's teachings and the connection she had forged. Ella rushed to share the news with her grandmother, her heart racing with excitement. "I got in, Grandma. I'm going to study automotive design." Her grandmother beamed with pride, wrapping Ella in a tight embrace. "I always knew you had it in you. This is just the beginning of an incredible journey." As Ella began this new chapter, she felt an invigorating sense of purpose and a profound connection to her roots. She was no longer just a girl from a modest background. She was a woman stepping into her power, ready to make her mark on the world. As she drove to campus for the first time, the car felt like an extension of her dreams. The road ahead was wide open, and Ella was determined to seize every opportunity that came her way, turning challenges into triumphs and transforming her vision into reality. Each mile she covered was a step toward carving her own identity, embodying the legacy of love and resilience her family had instilled in her. With her grandmother's spirit guiding her, Ella felt unstoppable, ready to navigate whatever roads lay ahead. This part delves deeper into Ella's character growth, her relationship with her grandmother, and the blossoming connection with Henry, all while exploring her aspirations and ambitions. If you'd like to continue or make any adjustments, let me know. Shifting gears. The first day of Ella's automotive design program dawned bright and crisp. As she stood before the mirror in her modest bedroom, she adjusted her new outfit, a blend of comfort and professionalism that felt both empowering and reflective of her personality. Her grandmother's encouraging words from the night before echoed in her mind. "Believe in yourself, and the world will follow suit." Today, she would step into a world that had once felt so far away. With a mix of excitement and nerves churning in her stomach, Ella slid into her car, the familiar scent of leather filling her senses. The engine roared to life, and she felt the pulse of anticipation surge through her veins. Every journey she had taken up to this point led her to this moment, the chance to immerse herself in her passion and cultivate her dreams. As she drove through the bustling streets toward the school, her heart raced with the prospect of meeting new people, sharing ideas, and learning from industry professionals. Arriving at the campus, Ella took a deep breath, the atmosphere buzzing with the energy of fellow students bustling about, each one carrying their dreams and aspirations. The buildings were a mix of modern architecture and classic design, a physical manifestation of the creative spirit that thrived within. Ella felt a sense of belonging wash over her, a comforting realization that she was in the right place. In her first class, a diverse group of students sat around a large, circular table. They were eager, wide-eyed, and brimming with creativity. The professor, a seasoned automotive designer with years of experience, introduced himself and began to share stories of his journey in the industry. Ella listened intently, captivated by his passion and knowledge, feeling as though each word he spoke ignited a flame within her. Design is not just about creating something beautiful. It's about solving problems and innovating for the future, he emphasized, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm. We're not just designing cars. We're shaping experiences, lifestyles, and the very way people interact with the world around them. As the lecture continued, Ella scribbled notes furiously, feeling inspiration course through her. Her mind raced with ideas, concepts that blended aesthetics with functionality, emotions with engineering. The possibilities were endless, and she couldn't wait to dive deeper into this world of creativity. In the weeks that followed, Ella immersed herself in her studies, eagerly absorbing every lesson. She spent late nights in the workshop, sketching designs, molding clay models, and collaborating with classmates. Each project challenged her to think outside the box, pushing her creative boundaries and honing her skills. Among her classmates was Mia, a fiercely talented designer with a knack for sustainable materials. The two quickly became friends, bonding over their shared passion for innovation and their determination to make a difference in the automotive world. Mia often challenged Ella to consider the environmental impact of their designs, inspiring her to explore new avenues and think critically about sustainability. Imagine if we could create a car that not only looked stunning but also contributed positively to the environment, Maya suggested one afternoon as they worked on a project together. We could revolutionize the industry. I love that idea, Ella replied, her eyes lighting up. Let's brainstorm ways to incorporate recycled materials and renewable energy sources into our designs. We could create something that stands out both in design and ethics. Their partnership blossomed into a dynamic collaboration, and soon they were inseparable both in and out of the classroom. They spent weekends visiting eco-friendly car exhibitions, exploring innovative designs, and even volunteering at local events to raise awareness about sustainable transportation. Ella felt a sense of camaraderie and purpose, surrounded by like-minded individuals who shared her vision for a better future. Outside the classroom, Ella continued to cultivate her relationship with Henry, who became a mentor of sorts. They would meet for coffee regularly, discussing her projects and the industry's latest trends. He encouraged her to apply for internships and offered insights into the automotive market, guiding her with a blend of practicality and encouragement. One afternoon, as they sat in a cozy cafe filled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, Ella couldn't contain her excitement any longer. "Henry, I have an idea for my final project," she said, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "What if I design an eco-friendly vehicle that incorporates advanced technology for urban commuting?" Henry leaned forward, intrigued. "That's a fantastic concept. Urban commuting is a growing concern, especially with the rise of pollution and traffic congestion. What specific features are you thinking of?" Ella's eyes sparkled as she began to outline her vision. "I envision a compact electric car with a modular design, allowing it to adapt to various needs. It could feature smart technology for navigation, energy efficiency, and even a sustainable interior made from recycled materials. The goal is to create a vehicle that's not only practical, but also stylish and environmentally friendly." Henry nodded thoughtfully, his expression shifting from curiosity to admiration. "That's brilliant, Ella. You have a unique perspective, and I think you could make a significant impact with that project. Have you thought about how you might present it?" "Yes, I want to create a comprehensive presentation that showcases the design process, the materials used, and the environmental benefits. I want to highlight the importance of sustainability in the automotive industry," Ella replied, her excitement palpable. As they continued discussing her project, Ella felt a surge of confidence. The more she talked about her ideas, the more she realized the depth of her passion for automotive design. She envisioned a future where cars weren't just machines but vessels of change, empowering individuals and nurturing the planet. As the semester progressed, Ella worked diligently on her final project. pouring her heart and soul into every detail. She spent countless hours in the workshop, sketching designs, constructing models, and refining her concept. The process was both exhilarating and exhausting, pushing her to her limits, but also rewarding her with a sense of accomplishment. As the final presentation day approached, Ella's excitement mixed with nervousness. She wanted her project to not only impress her professors, but also resonate with her peers, inspiring them to think critically about their own designs and the impact they could have on the world. The day finally arrived, and the air in the classroom was thick with anticipation. Ella stood before her classmates, her heart pounding in her chest. She had worked tirelessly for this moment, and she was ready to share her vision with the world. With a deep breath, she launched into her presentation. She spoke passionately about her design, showcasing the sustainable materials, the innovative technology, and the importance of creating vehicles that aligned with the values of a changing society. Her classmates listened intently, their eyes wide with fascination. As she concluded her presentation, the room erupted in applause, and Ella felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had poured her heart into this project, and it had resonated with others. Her professor approached her, a proud smile on his face. "Ella, that was outstanding. Your design not only showcases your creativity, but also reflects a profound understanding of the industry's future. I encourage you to explore further opportunities in sustainable design." With those words, Ella felt a surge of validation. She was on the right path, and her hard work was beginning to pay off. In that moment, she understood that her dreams were not just figments of her imagination. They were tangible goals she could achieve with determination and passion. After the presentation, Ella celebrated with Mia and the rest of her classmates. They shared stories, laughter, and dreams, reveling in the joy of their accomplishments. Ella felt a deep sense of connection to this new community, a network of ambitious individuals all striving for a common goal: to create a better future through their designs. Later that evening, as she drove home, Ella couldn't help but smile. The road stretched out before her like a canvas, full of possibilities. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for what lay ahead. Her grandmother had always said that dreams are the wings that carry us, and Ella was soaring higher than ever before. When she arrived home, her grandmother was waiting for her, a knowing smile on her face. "How did it go, dear?" she asked, her eyes filled with anticipation. "It went amazingly well, Grandma. Everyone loved my design, and the professor encouraged me to explore more opportunities in sustainable design," Ella exclaimed, her heart swelling with pride. Her grandmother embraced her tightly, a mixture of pride and joy radiating from her. "I always knew you had it in you, Ella. You are destined for greatness." That night, as they sat together reminiscing about the day, Ella felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She was no longer just a girl dreaming of a better future. She was a woman with a clear vision and a community of supporters cheering her on. With renewed determination, Ella decided it was time to take her journey to the next level. She wanted to explore internships that would allow her to apply her skills in a real-world setting, to gain hands-on experience that would solidify her future in automotive design. In the weeks that followed, she applied to various internship programs, reaching out to companies that aligned with her values and aspirations. Each application was a step closer to her dreams, and she poured her heart into every cover letter, eager to showcase her passion for sustainable design and innovation. Ella's hard work and persistence paid off when she received an invitation for an interview with a leading automotive company known for its commitment to sustainable practices. The moment felt surreal, a testament to her dedication and the support of those around her. The day of the interview arrived, and Ella stood in front of her mirror once again, this time wearing a sleek blazer and a confident smile. She could feel the adrenaline coursing through her, mixing with the anticipation of what lay ahead. She knew this was her chance to shine, to prove that her dreams were not only valid but achievable. Arriving at the company's headquarters, Ella was struck by the impressive architecture, a blend of modern design and eco-friendly materials. As she walked through the halls, She felt a surge of determination. This was the kind of environment she envisioned herself in, surrounded by innovative thinkers who shared her passion for creating the sustainable future. During the interview, Ella spoke passionately about her design projects, her commitment to sustainability, and her desire to make a positive impact in the automotive industry. The interviewers were engaged, asking thoughtful questions that allowed her to showcase her creativity and vision. As the conversation flowed, Ella felt a sense of ease, as if she belonged in this world. When the interview concluded, she left the building with a sense of fulfillment, knowing she had given it her all. Regardless of the outcome, she felt proud of her journey, the strides she had made, and the future that awaited her. As she drove home, her thoughts drifted to the next steps of her journey. Ella was excited about the possibilities that lay ahead. Whether she landed the internship or not, she had already taken significant steps toward realizing her dreams. Each moment, each decision, had brought her closer to her true self. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the road, Ella knew she was on the right path. Her heart brimmed with hope, determination, and a sense of purpose that would guide her through whatever challenges lay ahead. She was ready to embrace the journey, fueled by passion and a belief in the power of her dreams. This part further explores Ella's growth, her relationships with her peers, and her journey toward internships and career opportunities. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into specific aspects or continue with another part. The road to opportunity. The weeks rolled by, each filled with a flurry of activity as Ella navigated her busy life. Between her classes, late-night study sessions, and design projects, she also found herself attending networking events and workshops aimed at fostering connections within the automotive industry. With every passing day, she felt her confidence grow. She was evolving from a novice designer into a passionate professional with a clear vision of her future. One particular evening, Ella received a call that would change everything. It was the automotive company she had interviewed with, and her heart raced as she answered. "Hello, Ella. We're pleased to inform you that we would like to offer you the internship position in our design department." Overwhelmed with excitement, Ella felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. "Thank you so much. I can't wait to get started." After hanging up, she danced around her living room, a whirlwind of joy and disbelief. She had worked tirelessly for this opportunity, and it was finally hers. With her first day of the company looming, Ella prepared meticulously, wanting to make a lasting impression. She spent hours researching the company's latest projects and familiarizing herself with their design philosophy. Each piece of information only fueled her eagerness to contribute meaningfully. On her first day, she arrived early, her nerves buzzing with anticipation. The office was a sleek, open-concept space filled with light and creativity. Walls adorned with inspirational designs, sketches, and prototypes reflected the innovative spirit of the company. Ella felt a rush of excitement as she walked through the halls, her heart swelling with pride. Her supervisor, Mark, greeted her warmly. "Welcome aboard, Ella. We're thrilled to have you on the team. I know you're going to bring a fresh perspective to our projects." His encouraging words bolstered her confidence as they sat down to discuss her responsibilities. Mark outlined her role, emphasizing the importance of collaboration within the design team. "You'll be working on a project focused on urban mobility solutions," he explained. "We're looking for innovative ideas to improve transportation in urban areas, and your passion for sustainability is going to be invaluable." Ella's heart raced at the thought of contributing to such an impactful project. She eagerly absorbed Mark's words, excited about the chance to make a difference in the industry. As she settled into her workspace, surrounded by talented designers and engineers, she felt a profound sense of belonging. The following weeks were a whirlwind of creativity and collaboration. Ella participated in brainstorming sessions where her ideas were welcomed with enthusiasm. The team encouraged open dialogue, and she found herself thriving in an environment that valued diversity and innovation. During one particularly engaging meeting, the team explored concepts for a new urban vehicle designed to alleviate congestion in metropolitan areas. Ideas flowed freely, with team members proposing everything from compact electric vehicles to multifunctional public transportation solutions. Why not combine features from both? Ella suggested, her excitement bubbling over. We could create a modular vehicle that adapts to users' needs. For example, it could function as a ride-sharing vehicle during peak hours, but could transform into a delivery vehicle during off-peak times. Her idea sparked a lively discussion, and the team quickly began sketching out the possibilities. Ella felt an exhilarating rush of creativity as she contributed to the collaborative effort, her vision expanding with each new suggestion. Days turned into weeks, and Ella's passion for her work only intensified. She immersed herself in design software, learning new techniques and refining her skills under the mentorship of experienced designers. Each project became a learning opportunity, and she thrived on the constructive feedback she received. However, not every day was easy. There were moments when self-doubt crept in, especially when she encountered challenges or faced criticism from her peers. On particularly tough days, Ella found solace in her grandmother's teachings, reminding herself of her worth and the strength she possessed. She often texted her grandmother updates about her progress, each message met with encouragement and pride. One afternoon, as Ella sat at her desk, immersed in sketches for the urban vehicle project, she overheard a conversation between two senior designers. They were discussing the upcoming company showcase, where selected projects would be presented to industry leaders and potential investors. Ella should definitely be a part of this project, one designer remarked. Her ideas are innovative and align perfectly with our mission. The compliment sent a surge of warmth through Ella. She had hoped to contribute to the showcase, and hearing her peers speak highly of her work filled her with renewed determination. That night, she poured herself into her designs, refining her ideas and preparing for the chance to present her work. As the showcase date approached, the atmosphere in the office grew increasingly electric with anticipation. Ella felt the weight of her contributions, aware that this was not just a chance to showcase her skills, but an opportunity to make a meaningful impact on the industry. On the day of the showcase, the office buzzed with excitement. Ella arrived early, her heart racing as she set up her presentation. She meticulously arranged her sketches, prototypes, and supporting materials, ensuring that everything was perfect. She knew that this was her moment to shine. As the event began, industry leaders, investors, and colleagues gathered to see the innovative designs that would shape the future of urban mobility. Ella felt a mix of nerves and excitement as she prepared to present her project. The atmosphere was charged with creativity and innovation, each designer showcasing their unique vision. When her turn finally arrived, Ella took a deep breath, stepping in front of the audience. As she began her presentation, her passion poured out in waves. She articulated her vision for a modular urban vehicle that emphasized sustainability, functionality, and user adaptability. Her voice resonated with confidence, and she felt the audience's engagement with every word she spoke. As she unveiled her sketches and prototypes, Ella could see the spark of interest in her audience's eyes. The enthusiasm built as she explained the vehicle's unique features, demonstrating how it could revolutionize urban transportation. When she concluded her presentation, the room erupted in applause. Ella stood before the audience, a mixture of disbelief and joy washing over her. She had poured her heart and soul into this project, and it had resonated with others in a way she had only dreamed of. As she stepped off the stage, her colleagues surrounded her with congratulations. Mark approached, a proud smile on his face. "Ella, that was fantastic. You have a remarkable talent for conveying your ideas. I think you made a lasting impression today." The energy in the room was electric, and Ella felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had not only showcased her skills, but had also inspired others to think creatively about the future of transportation. Her journey had led her to this moment, a testament to her hard work, determination, and the support of those around her. After the showcase, the team gathered to discuss the feedback they had received from industry leaders and potential investors. Ella listened intently, her heart swelling with pride as they praised her contributions. The energy in the room was infectious, and she could feel the camaraderie of her team strengthening. As the meeting wrapped up, Mark shared exciting news. "We're in talks with several investors interested in supporting our urban vehicle project. With the right funding, we could take this design to the next level." Ella felt a surge of hope and excitement. This was just the beginning, and she was grateful to be part of something that had the potential to create real change in the world. That evening, as she drove home, Ella reflected on the day's events. She thought about the journey that had brought her here, from the moments of self-doubt to the triumphs she had achieved. Her heart swelled with gratitude for the people who had supported her along the way, especially her grandmother, who had instilled in her the belief that anything was possible. When she arrived home, Ella shared her experiences with her grandmother, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "Grandma, you won't believe how well the showcase went. Everyone loved my idea, and there are even talks about getting funding for the project." Her grandmother beamed with pride, tears of joy shining in her eyes. "I knew you could do it, Ella. You have a gift, and you're destined for greatness. Always remember that." As they embraced, Ella felt a renewed sense of purpose. This journey was not just about achieving her dreams. It was about honoring her grandmother's legacy, carrying forward the values of strength, resilience, and love. In the weeks that followed, Ella continued to immerse herself in her work. The energy in the office was palpable as the team collaborated to refine their project, driven by the excitement of the potential funding. Ella's contributions became increasingly integral, and she found herself stepping into a leadership role within the group. With each brainstorming session, she pushed the boundaries of creativity, proposing new features and innovative designs that sparked discussions among her colleagues. They explored ways to enhance user experience, integrate smart technology, and create a vehicle that was not only visually appealing, but also aligned with their sustainability goals. As the project progressed, Ella's confidence flourished. She felt a sense of ownership over her work, her ideas becoming a vital part of the team's vision. The supportive environment at the company allowed her to thrive, and she realized that her voice mattered in shaping the future of urban mobility. One afternoon, as the team gathered for an update on their progress, Mark announced some exciting news. "I'm pleased to share that we've secured funding for our urban vehicle project. This is a significant milestone for us, and it's all thanks to the innovative ideas and hard work of this incredible team." Cheers erupted in the room, and Ella felt a wave of elation wash over her. They had achieved something remarkable together, and she couldn't help but reflect on how far she had come since her first day of the company. As the celebration continued, Ella took a moment to step outside, the sun shining down on her. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought her here, the challenges, the triumphs, and the unwavering support from her grandmother and colleagues. With renewed determination, she vowed to continue pushing forward, fueled by her passion for design and her commitment to making a positive impact in the world. She knew that the road ahead would still hold challenges, but she was ready to face them head-on. As she returned to the celebration, surrounded by her colleagues, Ella felt a deep sense of belonging. She was part of a team that valued her ideas, and together, they were poised to change the landscape of urban transportation. With a heart full of hope and determination, she raised her glass, joining her colleagues in a toast to the journey ahead, to innovation, collaboration, and a brighter future. In this part, Ella continues to grow in her professional journey, leading up to securing funding for the project she worked on. If you'd like to explore any specific details or themes further, let me know. A journey of redemption. With the project now fully funded and momentum building, Ella felt a renewed sense of purpose coursing through her veins. The urban vehicle initiative had quickly evolved from a mere concept to an ambitious reality, and she was determined to play an instrumental role in its success. The excitement within the office was palpable as the team geared up for the next stages of development, and Ella was ready to embrace every challenge that lay ahead. As the weeks turned into months, the design team worked tirelessly. They conducted extensive research on user needs, sustainability practices, and the latest advancements in automotive technology. Ella took the lead on compiling data that highlighted urban transportation challenges, showcasing how their modular vehicle could provide practical solutions. Every day presented new opportunities to learn, and she soaked up knowledge like a sponge, eager to contribute to something truly transformative. Despite the thrill of progress, Ella couldn't shake the lingering memory of her encounter with Henry at the luxury car dealership. His derisive comments and dismissive attitude haunted her thoughts from time to time. It had been a stark reminder of the prejudices that still existed in the automotive industry, a field she had longed to be part of since her childhood. As she rose within her new company, she realized she wanted to advocate for greater diversity and inclusion in the industry, ensuring that others wouldn't have to endure the same humiliation she had faced. One evening, as Ella prepared for an important team meeting, she stumbled upon an article about a prestigious automotive conference that emphasized diversity in design. The event aimed to showcase innovative ideas and foster discussions about inclusivity in the automotive industry. Ella's heart raced. She knew this was the perfect opportunity to present their urban vehicle project, while also advocating for a more diverse workforce within the sector. Fueled by inspiration, Ella began drafting a proposal to submit to the conference organizers. She meticulously outlined the features of their modular vehicle, its sustainability benefits, and how it addressed urban transportation needs. But more importantly, she included a section advocating for increased diversity in automotive design, highlighting the unique perspectives that individuals from different backgrounds brought to the table. As the submission deadline approached, Ella poured her heart and soul into the proposal. She gathered statistics on the lack of representation in the automotive industry and included testimonials from her colleagues about the collaborative environment they had fostered. Each word felt like a battle cry for change, and she was determined to make her voice heard. Once her proposal was complete, Ella shared it with Mark and the rest of the design team. "I believe this conference is a chance for us to showcase not just our work, but also to advocate for diversity in our industry," she explained, her eyes shining with passion. "We need to make it clear that diverse perspectives drive innovation." Mark nodded, visibly impressed. "This is a fantastic idea, Ella. It aligns perfectly with our values as a company. I'll support you in any way I can to ensure our submission gets the attention it deserves." With renewed determination, Ella finalized her proposal and submitted it to the conference organizers. As she hit send, she felt a mix of anxiety and excitement. This was her moment to advocate for change and inspire others who had faced similar challenges in the industry. Weeks passed, and the anticipation grew as the conference date approached. Ella continued to prepare, creating an engaging presentation that highlighted their project and her vision for diversity in automotive design. She envisioned a future where people from all backgrounds contributed to shaping the industry, ensuring that no one faced discrimination or prejudice. Finally, the day of the conference arrived. Ella stepped into the bustling venue, her heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, filled with professionals from all facets of the automotive industry. She spotted booths showcasing cutting-edge technology, panels discussing the future of mobility, and eager participants exchanging ideas. Ella's presentation was scheduled for the afternoon, and she spent the morning attending various sessions, soaking in insights and learning from industry leaders. Each discussion reinforced her belief in the importance of diverse voices in driving innovation. She was determined to make her presentation resonate with the audience. As the time for her session drew near, Ella took a moment to gather her thoughts. Standing backstage, she closed her eyes and recalled her grandmother's words. "Believe in yourself, Ella. You have the power to make a difference." With that reminder echoing in her mind, she stepped onto the stage, ready to share her vision with the world. The room was filled with industry professionals, eager to hear her insights. As she began her presentation, Ella felt a surge of confidence. She spoke passionately about their modular vehicle, emphasizing its sustainability features and innovative design. But more importantly, she shared her vision for a more inclusive automotive industry, urging her audience to recognize the value of diverse perspectives. Her words resonated with the crowd. Ella illustrated how inclusive design could lead to products that better served all communities, highlighting how different backgrounds contributed unique ideas that shaped a product's success. As she finished her presentation, the audience erupted in applause, and she felt a wave of relief wash over her. After the presentation, Ella engaged with attendees eager to discuss her ideas. Many expressed their support for her vision of diversity, sharing their own experiences in the industry. It was a powerful reminder that change was possible, and she felt a sense of camaraderie with others who shared her passion. Later that day, as the conference concluded, Ella was approached by a well-known industry leader, Maya Rivera, who had been in the audience. "Ella, your presentation was inspiring," she said, her eyes bright with enthusiasm. "I believe you're onto something important. We need more voices like yours in this industry. I'd love to discuss ways we can collaborate to promote diversity in automotive design." Ella's heart soared. This was the moment she had hoped for, a chance to create meaningful change in an industry that desperately needed it. "Thank you so much. I would love to explore collaboration opportunities," she replied, excitement bubbling within her. As they exchanged contact information and made plans to meet again, Ella felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that her journey was not just about her own success, but about paving the way for others who would come after her. She envisioned a future where young designers, regardless of their background, could thrive in an environment that valued their contributions. When she returned to work, Ella shared the news with her colleagues, her excitement contagious. "I just met with Maya Rivera, and she wants to collaborate on promoting diversity in our industry. This could lead to incredible opportunities for our team and for aspiring designers everywhere." The team rallied around her vision, brainstorming ideas for initiatives that could support underrepresented voices in automotive design. They discussed mentorship programs, scholarships for aspiring designers, and partnerships with organizations dedicated to promoting diversity within the industry. As they worked together to develop their initiatives, Ella felt a sense of fulfillment. This was her calling, to not only excel in her career, but to uplift others and drive change within the automotive world. The support of her colleagues reinforced her belief that they could create a more inclusive industry together. Months later, as Ella stood in front of a diverse group of aspiring designers at a workshop organized by her company, she felt a profound sense of pride. The room was filled with eager faces, each representing a different background, culture, and story. They had gathered to learn about automotive design and to explore how they could shape the future of the industry. "Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today," Ella began, her voice steady and warm. "Today is about exploration, creativity, and the power of diverse perspectives. Your unique experiences are what will make our industry stronger, and I want to encourage each of you to embrace your individuality as you embark on your journey in automotive design." As she shared her story, her struggles, triumphs, and the importance of believing in oneself, the energy in the room shifted. The young designers were captivated, inspired by her journey from the challenges she faced to her current role as a leader advocating for change. Ella encouraged them to pursue their dreams, reminding them that they belonged in this space. "Remember, it's not just about designing cars. It's about designing a future where everyone's voice is heard and valued," she emphasized, her heart full of hope. "You have the power to change the narrative in this industry." After the workshop, many attendees approached her, sharing their aspirations and expressing gratitude for her encouragement. Ella listened intently, offering advice and support, just as she had once wished someone would do for her. The experience was deeply rewarding, and she felt a sense of fulfillment knowing she was helping to nurture the next generation of designers. As the months rolled on, Ella's initiatives gained traction within the company and beyond. They launched mentorship programs that paired experienced designers with aspiring talent, providing guidance and support for those entering the field. Collaborations with schools and community organizations flourished, offering workshops and scholarships to underrepresented students passionate about automotive design. One day, as Ella sat in a meeting discussing the success of their initiatives, she received a notification on her phone. It was a message from her grandmother, filled with pride and excitement. "I saw your workshop featured in the news. I'm so proud of you, Ella. You are making such a difference." Ella's heart swelled with emotion. She had come so far from that day in the luxury car dealership, where she had felt humiliated and dismissed. Now she was not only living her dream, but also creating a legacy that would inspire others for generations to come. In her heart, she knew her journey was just beginning. There were still challenges to face, but she felt equipped to tackle them head-on. With every initiative she led and every aspiring designer she mentored, she was building a brighter future for the automotive industry. As Ella reflected on her journey, she couldn't help but feel grateful for the challenges that had shaped her. They had ignited a fire within her, a passion for change, and a commitment to making a difference. With the love and support of her grandmother guiding her, she was determined to continue breaking barriers and paving the way for a more inclusive and innovative automotive world. Ella smiled, filled with hope for the future. She had turned her struggles into strength, and now she was empowering others to do the same. The road ahead was bright, and she was ready to drive it forward, one idea, one designer, and one moment at a time.